Palm Sunday, it's the day the church recalls the triumphal entrance of Christ into Jerusalem. And perhaps more, the Gospels, in telling this story, speak about the Jewish leadership looking for an opportunity to how they might arrest Christ, by craft, by stealth, cautiously, surreptitiously, and to be very blunt, in a treacherous way. And Judas, and rightly so, is the person we associate with this. His name had a meaning in his lifetime. It meant worthy of praise, but I don't think any of us would think of using Judas in that terms anymore. He's a mysterious figure in Scripture, dark, mysterious figure. Why he did what he did, why he committed such an act, we probably will never know. But what we are sure of is he provided the opportunity for the arrest of Jesus. He made it possible for Jesus to be arrested. Indeed, he is responsible for the Lord's arrest. An arrest the leadership sought, and not only in arresting Jesus, but in the type of arrest. It was a stealth arrest. He delivered the Lord over to the Jewish leadership. Judas was a scoundrel, inspired by evil, worthy of admonition. His act has become synonymous with being a traitor. How could he do such a thing? How could he commit such an act? What happened to the flame of his devotion? What happened to the response to his Lord when the Lord said, "Follow me," and he said yes? What happened to the years he spent in the Lord's company, developing a deep personal relationship? His defection had to be a tremendous blow to Christ. The beginning of the narrative is full of energy and joy, but it soon turns to a frightful narrative, and indeed a very sad one. It's a narrative, though, that should encourage us to look into the depths of our own hearts. It's safe to say that we will never fall into the depths of the evil that Judas committed, but it should serve as a caution when we show a distrust of the love that is a supreme motive and method of life. The 21st century can affect us in many ways, and some of them quite negative. We can respond with cruelty, with more cruelty, insults with more insults, violence with more violence. We can act as if truth can be established by lies, and when we encounter weakness, we may respond with might. We can walk down a sad path, a path that is dark, a path that is one of disappointment over hope, a path that is selfishness over selflessness, pride over humility. It can produce an attitude that will prevent the Lord from saving us. Palm Sunday begins a path, a mysterious path of the depths of love. It begins with Christ being acclaimed as King and Messiah, and it leads to the upper room. It leads to that same crowd that was proclaiming Christ as their King and Messiah, as now accusing him of being an impostor. It leads to Gethsemane. It leads to Golgotha. Yes, and finally it leads to Easter, the triumph of love. Palm Sunday, Passion Sunday, begins a momentum to our salvation. It provides a fine opportunity for us to reflect on just who Jesus is, to answer the same question that Christ presented to his followers, his apostles and disciples, when he said, "Whom do people say that I am? Whom do you say that I am?"